like that. Okay, I'm gonna eat them. I've been, since 2000, when campaigning.
What kind of business do you have?
Right now, I'm not doing anything. I used to be in, so I'm in commercial garage, 23 years. I'm a small business owner. I did convenience store, beauty supply store, gas stations, dry cleaners, all sorts of things. I'm also director of Korean American Consulting Group.
Director of what?
Korean American Consulting Group.
Okay.
So I consult people that they like to have, the Koreans that want to come to America, have business, or Americans want to go to America, Korea, have business, some things like that.
Which is air fryer today.
Yeah, because you know, Korea is such a big country now. It's a eight, richest country in the world, the size of Pennsylvania. Eight richest country.
Do you go to Korea often?
No, but I'm going there this variety election, so I can.
I used to.
I know that I'll do it. I'm gonna bring the, have a meeting with South Korea companies. I posted this, Samsung, Hyundai,
Yeah, I
LG,
saw that.
all those things. Ask them to come, have an office of town Charlotte, to occupy those empty office. And then set up the manufacturing business, yes, on your Concord, Illinois. Because we need to bring the back business beside things.
Yeah.
I will talk about that later.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Look. I'm gonna talk about that. Good morning, Gary.
Morning, how you doing today?
Doing well, you?
Superb.
Morning, Gary.
Hey, what's up, Judge? How you doing?
We all like now that for real fast. That definitely sounds.
I got like I said, one of
You
the
cannot
major corporations said they'll throw some money behind it. I'm gonna draw it up formally. I actually got lunch with said company, a different rep.
Even mine
company,
says so.
but the same company on Thursday.
They
I'll keep
eat
posting
them,
in real
sit
time.
around and eat junk.
Actually, I'm glad you said that. I gotta send a message.
When they get out
I'm working
there.
with the principal of the chambers. He wants to get more alumni engagements. So trying to work with our alumni. Yeah, well, we call it being. Well, our alumni is rich as hell, man. Like our leader who's running for school board, we went to school together. Desmond Wiggins with Battery Exchange, he graduated from there. Like we got big ass.
Sound about like Nova Scotia.
We got rich ass history.
Got a
Man.
school that's getting ready to close or, do some, it could be better. And you got all these rich people. Like I went to a Nova Scotia alumni event. I saw Jaguars, Porsches, all these alumni pulling up in all these nice cars.
Stop there after I come with Kayla. Look, I got no video open at that time. Tell Sharice start opening at 6 a.m. I'm going to pop in here when I drop the case. It's too early for them. That's the one part I will not take.
My brother last week. Yeah, that's same way. Don't tell us that what I'm nobody said nothing to the my brother did go to the I want to practice, but it's not. I'm glad you read. And they got like I'm the only one. I'm sorry? Am I the only one? Okay, you can ask me all the questions you want. Welcome back. I tried to get rid of you, told you were coming. So, we changed your mind. Good to see you. Good morning,
We are already 3 minutes behind. And it is time to get started. First of all, I want to say thank you to Advance Carolina Jasmine. A little home cooking. Since you brought us such a tremendous spread with chicken wings and pancakes. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me, it is chicken and waffles in the morning. It's fancy. Tell us about Advance Carolina Jasmine.
Okay, I did see online, I saw Action NC. Technically, y'all, they're one of our partners. It's not who goes there or help with the breakfast. Advanced Carolina, North Carolina Black Alliance is a 501c3, C4 dedicated to building Black economic and political power. So we're just supporting, we've always been an advocate supporter of the Tuesday Morning Forum. We wanted to, y'all, it's been a minute since we had the food. So we was like, can Advanced NC Black Alliance sponsor our second Tuesday? So we wanted to bring the food back for the second Tuesday. So thank y'all for having us. Looking forward to hearing from more candidates outside of, the ones we have now. There we go. I just spoke a candidate up.
Walked in the room with the sunglasses on. The moment you said it, that was a film scene.
So thank y'all. Enjoy the breakfast. And then, I will say,
How are you? You work how are you? You worked late yesterday. I love it.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. We appreciate that. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another rendition of Big Time Tuesday at the Belmont Center for the Sarah Stevenson Tuesday Morning Forum, right here at 700 Parkwood Avenue, the prestigious community forum that has been serving information to the community for over 50 years. My name is Winston Robinson. I am your facilitator today, along co-facilitators, Ms. Laura McClelly, Ms. Carlinia Ivory Canty, Ms. Jackie Edwards Walton, Ms. Natalie McElrath, our timekeeper, Ms. Mary Johnson, Mr. Shea Abdullah, Mr. Gary Young, Ms. Jasmine Wright, Ms. Aretha Sherrill, our chaplain, our website editor and archivist, Mr. Steve Johnston, and one man house band, Dr. Thomas. Our forum runs from 8:30 a.m. to 9:45 a.m., at which time we will pause for announcements from the audience. Announcements can also be sent to Steve at sjohnston@tuesdayforumcharlotte.org. That's Johnston with a T. It is our tradition that we begin with prayer before we have our forum, and we will ask Brother Pratt Pat. Hey, Monique Mitchell, good to meet you today. Look, my bad, I'm sorry. Hello, how are you? I don't know, everybody started yelling at me. Monique. Hey, Monique, how are you? I'm Winston.
They said you was too late.
Apparently, God don't send Monique to the voicemail, so go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Father God, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we thank you, oh God, for this day, for this is the day that you have made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. God, we thank you for the leadership of Charlotte. We thank you for this great city. We thank you for every resident, oh God. We thank you for your protecting power from the north, the east, the south, and the west. Now, God, we invite you into this meeting, Lord. We invite you into this forum. Have your way. Speak well through the candidates, oh God, and may we receive, oh God, you through them. We pray, oh God, for the leaders of this forum. We thank you, oh God, that they continue to give us information. They continue to align us, oh God, with what's going on in this city. Now, Father, we commit Charlotte into your hands. We understand, oh God, that there's needs there, God, that there's needs throughout the city, God, and we know that you're the one that can meet them. So we commit the greatest to the least, the first to the last, God, the last to the first, oh God, and we give them unto you. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. Okay, thank you.
You got a church.
Yeah, I get it. That's it. I see what's going on. Y'all did exactly right. Thank y'all for letting me know. That was direct access to God. That was amazing. No, I didn't. I had to thank you, straighten me out. If we have anyone with us for the first time, please, if you would like, introduce yourself and acknowledge any affiliations that you might have or would like to acknowledge. Sit down. Is this your first? Oh, you will get your time.
I know, I like this.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. My name is Emily Jacobson. I'm visiting from Chicago, Illinois. I work for Change.org. We're piloting a new product called Change.vote here in Charlotte this fall for the election, and I'm here to learn more about what the candidates are speaking of, what's on voters' minds, and I'd love to talk to any Charlotte voter afterwards about our new initiative. Thank you. And thank you for breakfast, Justin.
Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Charlotte. Hope you have a great stay. Anybody else would like to introduce themselves? All right, so again, following our presentation, we will have questions from the audience. Please raise your hand and we will acknowledge your name as it is added to the list in the order, in that particular order. I lost my space in my screen. And now I'm trying to. Okay, here we go. I do this every Tuesday. Actually, I've been off for a while, so that's why I'm rested. Okay, here we go. Questions should be no longer than 30 seconds. Responses should be no longer than 2 minutes. Questions should be questions. If the answer you receive is the answer you will have to accept. We do not go back and forth. We do not debate. We abide by the West Side Rules of Order, in which it is what it is. We have our timekeeper, Ms. Natalie McElred, who will signal a 30-second warning if necessary. When time's up, time is up. Before we move on, you know, our community is small, but our community is mighty. And we lost a member who was, we lost two. We lost two members of our community, and Janet Carpe, who was a bridge between the Liberian community and the rest of the diaspora, I will say, in Charlotte, with her very much intentional work of creating wholeness, creating togetherness. So Charlotte really did lose someone special last Friday. And Miss Jackie just notified me that Judge Donnie Hoover, again, that's Charlotte through and through, York Road High School alumnus, legendary judge, you know, one of the pioneers. Again, you just let me know that. That's, man, went to school with my father. That's two we can't get back, y'all. So please, I want to have a moment of silence, if you will indulge me. Thank you so much. And in the same theme of silence, let's go ahead and silence phones now. And not just the ringer, the notifications. Don't let us know how wide your algorithm is when that video plays. We know. Jump out the gate with cussing. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we have candidates, at-large candidates for Charlotte City Council. The way the room works, we know this is an unconventional time, so we will allow people to come in and leave at their own discretion. So we may have more candidates join us. We have Councilwoman, well, I tell you what, we'll allow them to introduce themselves. Ms. Natalie, how much time would you say right now?
Well, since we only have two.
Look, April, we just said, silence the phone. Look at that. April,
I know better.
Ms. Natalie.
We'll give them 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
That's the introduction. We'll just do the introduction.
Just whatever you want to talk about, explore. Drop album lyrics if you want to. But we're going to start with Councilwoman Mayfield, and then we're going to proceed on. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. It is on. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for coming out. Thank you, Sarah Stevenson, Tuesday Morning Baptist Forum, for always hosting events. I am Luana Mayfield. I serve on Charlotte City Council. Now going on about 11 and a half years. Currently, I serve you as an at-large member since 2022. As you know, there's a lot happening in the city. The city has done a lot of growth. We had a lot of challenges, but those challenges are the growing pains of a growing city. We're now the 13th because we were 14th and we then surpassed Ohio maybe about a month ago, so we're the 13th largest growing city. So one of the things that I would share, hopefully those that have watched my work, you know that housing affordability as well as supporting small businesses and economic development is something that's been very important to me, as well as our process on Monday nights when we're approving projects and actually pulling out certain items to have discussion on them. Years ago, we were able to have longer discussion on projects versus a motion to approve item 13 to 52 in one motion. So when we look at how council is approving projects, approving requests, I am constantly trying to think about what is the long-term impact, especially when I'm out in community consistently. I would encourage you to check out my website, both LaWanaMayfield.com. It is just LAWANA. Also to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I try to post a lot of what's happening in the community, events that I'm at, as well as other things. There's a lot that I can share, but I don't want to take up the whole 4 minutes so we can have time for discussion towards the end. I look forward to this discussion, the questions that come from our leadership, as well as all of you in the audience. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It is so much pleasure to be here to find out this group of people because I am very sure that you guys the one impacting positively in this city. And I wish I found out about your group long time ago. It could have made my life much easier, and then I could have been part of this powerful group, and it's never too late. But if you ask me about my background, I'm from South Korea, Seoul, which is the 8th richest country in the world, 8th largest country in the world because of education level. Nothing to do with oil or nothing else. So what I'm trying to bring it to Charlotte, North Carolina is we have to teach our next generation accountability, including myself. As a candidate for city council at large, I would like to show everybody what we're politicians who taking this as a passion, not as a career. I don't want anything else. My name doesn't have to be famous. I live everything to the Jesus, glory of my God. I'm here because He asked me, give me this wisdom to do the right thing, nothing else. I am a nobody. Don't look at my skin color. This Misa with this face, my body doesn't mean anything. But what's inside of my heart is pure gold because of what God gave to me. I didn't do this over the night. I have a perfectly good reason why I'm running because I have 2 children that I raised in America, which doesn't make any sense to me because I grew up in a very different environment. When I was growing up in Korea, it doesn't matter, we are Christian, Buddhist, whoever we were raised as a person that self-respect is very important. Also, we don't bring the shame to our family name, which is missing in this country. So my kids were 24 and 26 years old, and I went through hell in my life because of I didn't know how this country's system was running in the healthcare systems. How do they using the medication to press down the minority? And then it's just incredible. And I just wanted to change a couple of things that I very aware of it. So what I'm going to bring it to Charlotte, you already read my postcard. Hopefully you did, handouts, but there's a lot more things that I love to do it. And give me the opportunity to take care of the people that I'm making it. I live in South Park. I hang out with rich people every day. They're never going to be poor because of they've been growing up in a rich environment, generation, and they're never going to be poor. But people, they never had anything, in their life, no education, no background, no support. Those ones we need to take care of it. So please ask me all the questions. I have answers, and I'm not a just talker, I'm a doer, and I have a solution for it. And there's something else that I wanted to edit in the card, but it was too small. But thank you so much for listening to me and answering my question. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Let me ask you this before we get to questions from our audience. This is a position you don't engage unless you have your own thoughts and ideas. What are, and for the incumbent Councilwoman Mayfield, this might be a bit different for you, but give me a list of 3 things that you would like to introduce or really get behind and power as you step into office. That, like, what are the things at the forefront for you that you would really like to enhance and shine a light on and make sure you can get support from your other council members with?
Okay, you want me to start?
Yes.
Thank you so much for that question. So I would say the beauty of being in office now for a number of years is I've had the opportunity to create a number of programs, enhance what I've learned through travels, through National League of Cities and through our support. But as I'm going into this next election, I am really looking at how do we flip this whole housing conversation upside down. What we know is the city of Charlotte has limitations. We may be able to contribute some funding towards a housing development, but if you have to go through the state for tax credits, you have a lot of language through the North Carolina Finance Housing Agency, like the fact that there's one sentence where there's an escalation clause. How does that escalation clause play out for that individual? When you hear us always talking about 30% area median income, well, here's the reality. We have a lot of people that are 10 and 20. So, but we say 30 and below. 10 and 20 is, I have an elder, you're bringing home $987 a month. That's less than $12,000 a year, but your rent is $475. 30% of your rent will be $291. We don't have the legal ability to say 30% of your rent or 50%. It is the average, which is the MSA. So when we listen to AMI and all of that, I'm having conversations with the city manager as well as our new county manager. What would it look like if we actually stepped into this game and created housing, not a in place of, but an and creating true diverse price point housing that has from our individuals who have the lowest income up to market rate to have a more stable. We know that there are financial challenges all around us, especially under this governmental regime and things that are being taken away. That is something I'm really excited about moving that conversation forward. Hopefully everyone knows I'm currently leading the city's Faith in Housing initiative that was kicked off last year, where we're working directly with religious institutions to build not only housing, but also rehabbing their space, much like what William McNeely has done with Shiloh Institutional with Do Greater, and now that's expanding into Uptown. I am looking forward to expanding that program to help us really address the needs that we have in our community for the residents that are here. I'm more concerned about those of us that live here than those that are coming. We want you to come, y'all can slow down a little bit, because I'm a transplant, I came in ABA. And then for number 3, my conversation is around the role of city versus county versus school board. There is a role that the city of Charlotte plays outside of just law enforcement, but people need to understand that once CMP makes that arrest, then it's out of our hands. It goes to the magistrates, the judge. Those are the ones that make the decision on whether or not that individual is incarcerated or is out back on the street, depending on the list of infractions that they have committed. Those are 3 things that I'm really interested in digging a lot more into moving into the future. Thank you.
So I am involved with the homeless ministry on Wednesday night at First World Park. And I have this form that I give it out to homeless people to find out what is causing their homelessness. So let's talk about the 3 things that there are more things, but he gave me 3 things. So let's talk about economic power, because all these things happening in Charlotte, crime, homelessness, all those one caused by the lack of income. Because of a minimum wage is still $7.25. You cannot find one bedroom apartment under $1,200 per month. So unless you're making $25 per hour, you cannot make it. So let's bring the business in here that it's gonna bring the better paying jobs. So that's what I'm working on first. So as soon as I win this election, the news for Charlotte is that I am going to South Korea to have a meeting with the Samsung, Hyundai, Daewoo, Kia, LG, and then also I've been to Vegas many times, but I'll go to events. They're recruiting high technology companies to come to Charlotte, relocate in here, and give them an incentive and free rent. And then, so they can bring the high-paying jobs, such as the cybersecurity. And then also part of a homeless ministry, I am working on creating this school, for trade school. Because I found out everybody who is homeless, everybody's the same thing. They don't have enough education, they don't have any trade skill. So they were just depending on their body. As you are aware of it, AI is taking over human job. Even office job is going away, special warehouse job is going away, which was usually belonged to big, tall, handsome Afro-American guys, and then they're losing their jobs. So those things has to be changed. So I am creating a trade school to teaching plumbing, HVAC, electricians, carpentry work for the lady. They can learn how to do sewing, alterations, and the dry cleaning, which doesn't require a lot of studying. Everybody know how to hand sewing and things like that. But those one can earn immediately over $100,000. And we can start doing that from the high school. So because these days nobody has to go to college anymore. Everything's available through the YouTube and Google. So why do we owe money? And that's one thing. And number two is, so let's talk about the crime. As you're aware of it, if I live in South Park and there was a two incident happened yesterday. One got killed in very luxury apartment, which is 2-bedroom apartment, $3,500. Somebody got gunshot and killed, and then somebody got the cutthroat stabbed on South Park Mall. Why is that? It's because of we don't charge anybody. First time offenders has been punished, and then we can stop the crime to occur again. All those crimes is happening from the youngsters. So we are going to do that. Number three is about the traffic and then transportation issues, right? So I'm against special tax. We don't need money, extra money. You should say vote. You should say no to that. But I have a solution for that. We have to put the gates in there, and then everybody cannot come in for free. They have to check in and check out, and then that's going to stop everybody to stop committing crime, and they connected the CCTV with the police department because they don't have it right now.
Thank you so much. Speaking of tall, handsome African-American men, good morning. Councilman James Mitchell just graced us.
So I apologize for being late, family. How many minutes we have? Let me do this right.
You have 4, but we prefer you sit down.
Oh, you want us to sit down? I'm sorry. Come on, y'all know this energy. I can't stay sitting down.
I'm not standing up.
Oh, we're live recording. I'm sorry. So let me act like I got some sense, right, Ken? Good morning, Tuesday morning breakfast. I'm the new kid on the ballot, James Smudger Mitchell. I would like for your support again as we talk about leading the 14th largest city in America. My 3 top priorities, and they haven't changed, family. One is minority participation. We got 2 projects, or at least we got 1 project that I think we need to make a difference for our small business. That's the $650 million Bank of America renovation for the next 5 years. We fought hard to get 27% for minority business. So all you smart math people, 27% of $650 million is how much? $175 million we want to spend with minority business city of Charlotte. Number two for me is workforce development. We've come a long way being 50 out of 50, now I think we're 30 out of 50. But we need more improvement. And so now we started a youth workforce development focused on 18 to 24 years old. How do we put them to job? What job skills they need to be successful? And last but not least, I have to thank my colleague, affordable housing. We still need to make sure Charlotte is affordable for all our citizens who want to call Charlotte home. How many minutes I have left? One?
No, you don't, yeah, two.
I got two. So let me give a praise report in my last 2 minutes. In 2018, I stood before the Tuesday morning breakfast and I said, we need to save the historic Excelsior Club. Tuesday morning breakfast then with Jessica Davis' leadership created a survey and asked the citizens, what would you like to see at the Excelsior Club? I'm proud to announce that the Economic Development Committee has approved $1.5 million to rebuild the historic Excelsior Club. And I'd like to see you all on October 27th when the full city council raise our hand. Why is the Excelsior Club important? How many of y'all been to the Excelsior Club? Raise your hand. Do I need to say any more?
No.
Can the church say amen?
Amen.
I'm done.
All right, we're gonna go to questions from the audience. We have our first question from Mr. Ken Coons.
There are 4 at-large seats available, and there are some citizens that there will probably be one new person. Do either of you have an idea of the 4, who the odd man out might possibly be?
Come on, Ken.
Well, Ken, let me start off this way.
I'm a woman, so.
Okay, well, I'll let the woman go first. Sorry, man. Go right
No,
ahead.
he said for who's the odd man out, so she's the one.
Oh, so she.
No.
Take the mic. Take the mic.
Ken, so let me start. How long do I have? 30 seconds to answer? 30
So
seconds.
you have 2 minutes.
Yes, about a minute. Ken, I think anybody offer themselves to run for public office is an accomplishment, right? This is serious work. This is tough work. You have to want to do it. You have to have the passion each and every day. You want to make Charlotte a better place. So let me talk about the one person that I hope you all will vote for, and that's me. This is in my DNA. You all don't know there's probably 300 some emails we get a day. And LaWanda and I are going to talk about at large. So it's totally different in the district. You get 300 some emails every day. You probably get about 90 phone calls. And our responsibility is to communicate and get back with you. I like this, family. Some of us are born just to serve. And I think that's my special call. I'm born to serve. Is it a sacrifice? But it's worth the sacrifice. How many Charlotteans in? Raise your hand. So it's about 9 of us. So I'm the Southside guy that was born in Charlotte, lived in Charlotte all my life for 5 years. But like today, this is the best job you can have, is to look at you all faces and say, I'm here to serve and work for you. So I hope I'm one of your 4 again.
Would anybody else like to?
I don't know everybody, but I think there are some people that they are in the civil in the wrong region. So I'd like to be more transparency in the public. I was attending, you saw me, I was attending their voting yesterday and I found out everybody went to Panthers game for free. And they paid by the pepper. And then one other person said, oh, it was my best birthday gift, blah, blah, blah. And then they have to vote for the peppers. That's not okay. And then I asked them, where is the full lease agreement that you guys have signed it? It's not in the public. So what are you hiding, right? So we need to have even power in the Charlotte.
Further away.
So we need to have a more balanced power in the city council. So of course, if you can choose me and do my job, I will really appreciate it. But including me, there's a Wedwin Peacock. He is a good guy. Please choose him. So we can do together. Because 2% in city council at large, and the 2% in city council at large, and then we are good to go. Because you cannot be one-sided power. We have to be harmony. And then I'm a bipartisan. I love to listen to everybody. I'm not this and that. Do not call me, I'm not black enough. Don't tell me that I'm not American enough. I'm not Charlotte enough, Charlotte enough. I've been in America 34 years. I love America more than you guys do. That's the problem. Okay? Thank you.
Ken, so thank you for the question. I am not going to say that any of my colleagues need to be replaced, because here's the reality. We had a primary. On that primary, you had 10 names to choose from, and thankfully the community came out and said, here are the 4, and it just so happened that the 4 are those 4 of us that have been here. I, much like my colleague, love this city. Even though I came in '88, I came here when I was 18 years old, so pretty much I grew up here in Charlotte and have been in multiple parts of the city. But I think I've been very consistent. Good, bad, and indifferent, y'all know where I land. And I will never, to the best of my ability, come before the community and tell you one thing and then get at the dais and do something different. I will say, as far as Sunday, there's a misnomer, because the reality is, even though a lot of us may support our team, everybody wasn't sitting at the game. But the other side of it is some people are actually Panther ticket holders, because some people actually have real jobs. I do counsel full-time to go to school. So some people actually have the ability if they choose to, and I'm not gonna knock you for that, for the simple fact that we are still human. We are still residents of the city, and we are going to enjoy our city just like we want others to enjoy it. I personally was at church a good part of Sunday, and then had 2 different community events that I attended. I'm glad we won. We have a major supporter right next to me, so.
3-0 at home, we're undefeated.
So when we think about the role, I will also ask for you all to give us some grace and recognize we are still human. We do have feelings. When we made a conscious decision to not only put our hand up to say, choose me to read through these packets that we receive on Thursday that might maybe this thick, in order to be prepared to answer and vote on millions of dollars every Monday night. I'm gonna ask you to continue to support me and keep me in office so I can keep fighting for our community.
All right, we have questions from Gary, Jazz, and Ms. Carlina Ivory.
What's up, Gary Young? What's up, Gary? All right, Councilwoman Mayfield, you actually answered a part of it when you spoke on the housing. But I guess my question will pivot a little bit more where you discussed affordable housing in a sense, but I guess I would ask, and even for the candidates, all candidates, what would be some of your ideas in terms of policies that the council could create to better help individuals who have been in properties for 20 to 30 plus years?
Thank you for that question. So, one, let's have a real conversation. We do have some limitations because North Carolina is a dealing law state. When we say dealing rule, whatever is created in North Carolina General Assembly, their baseline language directs what we are legally able to do. Yet, I'm gonna use this opportunity to promote a number of programs that we do have that it seems like a lot of people don't know about. So let's say you have a family member and family members have passed away, but the person who's living in the home and paying the taxes, keeping up, they're not actually on the deed. Heirs property, the city can help you navigate through that. We have a number of homeowners associations that are putting people in very precarious positions for $1,000, $1,300. I was able to help one of the elders, honestly, in my church about 3 months ago because they were going through a homeowners association battle for $1,300. Through our housing and neighborhood services, we had a program that not only helped to satisfy that, but also to help them get their language together and get the deed right because unfortunately family members had passed away who the deed's name was in. We also need to pay attention to these foreclosures that are happening. I started conversations with our manager as well as Mr. Cockrell at Bank of America and some other banks of, hey, if we're seeing some foreclosures in our community, reach out to Charlotte. We have a program and a process. I thought we had 2 minutes. What are we down to?
You have.
Okay. So that's an example of a couple of things that I'm working on.
Time flies when you're
Thank
having fun.
Yes, sir.
Gary, do you want all those answers? Okay. So let me follow up and give Councilor Mayfield credit what she did say. She's leading our faith-based initiative. Oh, you talked about that earlier?
Late.
Sorry for being late. But that is real work that she's doing. So Gary didn't answer your question. Charlotte just recently did a survey of how many property and buildings we own. I think we came up like 1,200 some properties that we own. I think the first thing we can do, earmark some of that land for affordable housing. We need to do what we can to take our property and make sure there's more affordable housing city-owned land. And then I think recently we approved an anti-displacement through the Housing Committee. We earmarked about $25 million to prevent and what we call our way of making sure gentrification does not continue to occur in some of our neighborhoods. And then last but not least, I think we need to increase our down payment assistance program, House Charlotte. Home ownership, we all know, is probably our greatest asset we can have. It's all about the American dream. And we need to make sure we continue to allocate more funds for down payment assistance as relates to affordable housing.
So when I was attending the city council meeting, and then it was kind of dawned on me. So they could afford give Tapper $650 million and 2 acres of land right beside of a Bank of America Stadium to support his venture. Why don't we come up with the money to build real affordable housing to give ownership to people that never made anything? They never had a chance to have a home in generation after generation. So all this slavery is happening, but what do they give to the people who really suffering? So affordable housing is just talk, nothing but talk. Homeless fund, all those things, nothing but cover up things. In my opinion, City of Charlotte has a lot of land available. They have funds available. If they start using that fund to something else, they could really build a small flat like Europe has. Small one. They're not asking for big houses. They're not asking for mansions. They can have let's build a 700 square feet house with a built-in furniture, so they don't have to buy anything. We can make it happen if we focus on, okay? And that's not much to ask. Also, let's just face it. Charlotte Observer broadcast one time the 5 most dangerous towns is in a part of Charlotte. All 5 of them was a black neighborhood. Why? Why is that? Like Hidden Valley, all those people, they've been living in Charlotte for a long time, and it is
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It is one of the oldest Afro-American neighborhood. We should keep it. So instead of let somebody to buy the property and build $1 million homes and number of their properties, we should help those residents who's been living there for years and years and years. But because they got old, they don't have any fund available to fix the house, windows, roof, and things like that. City should provide fund helping those individuals to keep their homes, and they can give the homes to their next generations. So we can still keep the neighborhood as an Afro-American neighborhood, whichever we choose from. So let's be outside of people that are making it. They're not taking care of other people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jess. Absolutely, we do. Yes, we do. We'll let Councilwoman Wallington catch her breath. Good morning, Councilwoman.
Good morning.
Good morning, Doc.
If you would, catch your breath and take about 2 minutes, tell us who you are, some things about yourself and what you'd like us to know, and we can get into the next question. It's right on time.
Yep, sure. I won't take 2 minutes. I am Dr. Victoria Watlington. I have the pleasure of serving you on Charlotte City Council as a member at large. I see a lot of familiar faces in here today, which is no surprise. Thank you to the Tuesday Morning Breakfast, to Ms. Jackie, to Winston, to Gary, and others for making this a convening place. And this is where we discuss, and this is where the work happens, and this is where we get our information, so we can go back and represent you, and I believe that that's what my role is, to represent you. I'm running for the same reasons that I've been running since 2019, so focused on community-led planning, transportation, economic mobility, and housing. So we will continue that work. I have the pleasure of serving you as the Housing, Safety, and Community Committee Chair. We currently are in the midst of a review following the sequential intercept model specific to safety and mental health and what we can do to make sure that people are supported. So happy to continue the conversation with you, and I appreciate your grace this morning. Thank you.
I just realized I put you on the spot after you climbed that hill from the parking lot. I'm sorry, that hill uphill one way, 90 degrees. I should have put it after. Yeah, go ahead with your question.
My question is really simple.
Okay.
Yes or no? Unless you want to go into a full explanation, but I'm gonna yield some more time for Ms. Carlia. Yes or no?
Okay.
Where do you all, or are you for or against this transportation tax?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I feel you. Please, Wanda.
Oh, y'all heard me, right?
You want to say
Oh,
first?
no.
Heck no. That just noise. Heck no. I attended a lot of CAT system meeting, CAT executive, everybody, and then I was attending a special transit meeting, and they found out they have a CCTV in there if it's not connected to the police department. So what are they doing? So I asked them, what is the solution? What are we going to do with that money? Where the money is going? Do you understand that those money will cost $240 per person per year? And if it's not staying in Charlotte, it's going straight to the state. And then they're saying, okay, we're not really sure we're going to break the ground in 5 years or 7 years. But in between that, we are going to still raise another tax, sales tax. Let's face this. Sales tax increase going to hurt small business, and it's not good for anybody in Charlotte. And then transit system is not used by a Charlottean. It's used by the people from out of town because they're not smart. They don't know how dangerous it is, so they're using it. Also, they don't even put the bars in there to check it out. And if they can put the bars in there, nobody can use it for free. Nobody can get up for free. This is not homeless shelter. This is not free ride. So let's come up with a better solution first, and then ask me more money. Nobody should just say yes, ever. Nothing. None of the tax increase, school bond, whatever things. They need to tighten up the budget. If that was their money, they would not waste all the money. Right? Am I right or am I wrong? Raise your hand. Thank you. There's nothing. I'm a bulldozer. I'm a bulldozer.
Councilwoman Watlington.
Yeah, sure. I'm really much more interested in what y'all think. And I've said from the beginning, my role is to educate with the facts, to take back what are the key issues. We've listed many of them. I'm hopeful to see some concrete work out of our staff. We were just delivered some information earlier this week as it relates to how we're going to support small business here in the city and what that really looks like from a tangible way. There's more work to be done. So I think ultimately I will always support the opportunity for each voter to decide whether you're getting the return on investment. Are you going to ride these rails? Are you going to drive on these roads? Can you afford a sales tax increase? I think all of us are grown adults that are smart enough to make that decision for ourselves. And so I will continue to push for the improvements to the tax referendum policy and proposition that shows up in our city based on what it is that you've said as your priority.
So right now you're a yes.
Right now, I'm open.
Undecided.
Right now, I'm open. But at the end of the day, we're each gonna have to vote on it, right? And so I don't feel that it's my place to tell you, yes, you should do it or not. You gotta make that decision for yourself. And so that's where I am on the transit tax. I've gotta make that decision for myself as well. I've heard plenty of very, very, very valid concerns and issues. And so representing the entire community, one person may say, hey, this is a great deal for me. And so I can understand why you would say, that's great. Others will say, I'm investing in this tax and I'm not even gonna get the line that was promised to my side of town. So why would I do this? And that's absolutely valid too. So it's not a one size fit all, but the responsibility on us is to put together a plan that each person that chooses to vote for it can articulate why they're voting for it. And if the majority of the citizens in this county say that they don't have a good ROI, then it won't pass. And I'm okay with that.
Did Councilwoman make your answer? Yeah.
So I answered no. I did not go into detail why. So a couple of us had the opportunity to visit Boston last week, and we had a part of that inner city tours looking at their transportation, which they have one of the oldest. They have 5 different sources of income for their transportation, including the fact that they created a millionaire's tax, i.e. a fair share tax. They have state funding, they have an MSD, but they are still underperforming. What I have a challenge with, since the question the way that I interpreted the question is, am I a yes or a no? So I am a no, and there are reasons why, but yet I did support as an elected official us moving this to the ballot for the community to have a discussion, because I don't believe that my personal feelings and my personal views should lead legislation. So for me, the answer is no, because I have concerns about the residents taking on the financial responsibility in totality, but in perpetuity, knowing that come 2026, we're gonna have to have a real conversation regarding a tax increase for the city of Charlotte, since we have not done a tax increase in more than 6 years. Also, what's happening on the federal level, those financial cuts are going to cause major financial challenges across the nation, but I'm more concerned about how it's gonna impact our residents here in Charlotte. And when you look at that red line, the fact that it completely skips Hidden Valley, when you look at economic development along the blue line, all the businesses that was created, and you're skipping an entire community that is majority working class, minority community, what are we doing? And let's be honest, government historically, we haven't always done what we committed to. We did a tax many years ago when we made a commitment. Independence Boulevard used to have red lights all along it. We put a bus line. How many times have y'all driven up Independence and seen the actual bus in the bus? But I've seen cars on it. So we have the ability to do some things better. I feel like this is not a one and done. And I do not personally appreciate that what we sent up to Raleigh and what came back to us designated how we're supposed to be making appointments.
So there's a lone yes voter. I think I need to state reason why I'm a yes voter. And I don't disagree with anything my colleague said. I just think you all got to make a decision. How do we provide a public transit system for 71% African Americans who ride the bus and 61% who ride the light rail? This sales tax is nothing new. The current sales tax was implemented in 1998. We asked for a 1% increase that would take it to $8.25. And my colleagues are right. I went to a Hidden Valley meeting in Hidden Valley and said, why is that not a stop in our place? You all got to realize the role that the city could play in designing this system. We're part of the MTC, Metropolitan Transit Commission. We only had 2 votes. So this is a regional plan developed by more than the city of Charlotte. I think we get the brunt of it. That people say, look what the city council designed. We didn't design that. We're part of overall conversation. But here's what hits me home when all of us was coming here today, and we the 14th largest city, and regardless what number you want to use, 152 people come in the region a day. 52 to 57 stay in Charlotte. So how does the city continue to grow and provide a public transit system for everyone? And let's talk about what the tax is going to be on. It's not going to be on grocery. It's not going to be the drugs that are so important to our seniors and a lot of us. It's a sales tax. And so as my colleague said, I want to make sure we are educated and informed. So when you start going to early voting, you understand what this sales tax of 1% would mean to the city of Charlotte. And not for you, but future generations. Thank you.
Before we go to Ms. Carlenia Ivory, I would like to give Councilwoman Mayfield opportunity to clear up what MSD. Any acronyms, please?
I'm sorry.
Municipal service.
So the MSA that I was talking about is the municipal service area. So when we think about who is identifying the area median income, when those numbers come down from the federal government, it's looking at the municipal area and creating an average of this is what 30% of the area median income, 50, 80, up to 120, up to market. And again, identifying when we say 30% AMI, when it comes to housing, that encompasses 30 and below. So if you're below that 30, 9 to 10 chances, you need a subsidy or a voucher to cover that difference. Because what you may be able to afford is $200 to $300 on that $1,800 rent. So that means that subsidy is covering that $1,000 to $1,500. But MSA is the metropolitan, what did I just say? Municipal service area, my apologies, the municipal service area. That's what the government is looking at, so the regional number.
Savvy move by Councilwoman Mayfield to squeeze more answer out of that.
Because I just want to make sure this is super clear. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I think it's very important that we're very, very clear. Councilmember Mayfield did an excellent job describing area median income. MSA, Metropolitan Statistical Area, is that piece that she was saying on MSA. You asked about MSD, Municipal Service District, and those are particular.
No, we didn't, I said MSA earlier, not MSD, earlier in my.
You said MSD earlier, but you meant MSA?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, we talked about MSA.
I got you. So wait, so we went over.
What is MSD? Just say what MSD is in MSA.
Service district.
Municipal Service District, Municipal Service.
Correct. That is an area, we've got several of them in the city of Charlotte. Think Center City Partners, South End Partners, University City Partners, South Park Partners. Those are areas where the residents and the commercial businesses have decided to tax themselves on an additional percentage or some fraction of that percentage to use that money specific for spending in that area. That's why you see more programming in certain areas, more signage. When you go to South End, you see all of these, hey, I'm in South End now, you've got a whole nonprofit staff that supports some of that work. That's what municipal service district means. It's a special tax that is levied based on the desire and will of the businesses and residents in that area. And I believe the reason you were bringing it up is because that's another revenue opportunity that currently this particular transportation proposal doesn't include.
Exactly.
All right, thank you, Councilor. Former Councilwoman, Ms. Carlenia Ivory.
Thank you. I have some of Jasmine's time and sons I need, going privilege. First, I want to say thank you, James. I do need more information. I asked the mayor about youth programs. Okay. And you mentioned something about jobs for youth 18 to 24. So please give me that information so I can make sure that I give it out. Luana, you mentioned the housing, and I know you're very passionate. And thank you guys, all of you, for voting for Housing Impact, because Mark Etheridge and they do a great job. So please continue to support that. Luana, I want to thank you. Regardless of what we ask you, there's integrity and honesty, whether I want to hear it or not. Victoria, I want to say to you, thank you. You brokered the deal for Eastland. You brokered the deal. But you can clap in a minute, because all of them, if it wasn't for those individuals sitting up there, Eastland Yards would not be happening. When at one point they had made a decision to give it to the other group, there's a young man who stood up and said, not tonight. And that was James Mitchell. And I think I need to publicly say that project will provide jobs and economic opportunities for not only people on the east side, but the west side. And with God's grace, we will break ground before the end of the year. Thank you.
All right, so we got
No. Point of personal privilege, as we say.
And be quiet. Well, hold on, actually it's 9:30, so I will ask you to reduce the time of your answers to a minute. Questions?
So this is gonna be 30 seconds if I can. She gave us a lot of credit, but you all should know who the developer is. She gave us a lot of credit, but you all should know who had the vision when she first started on city council. You all need to know she was criticized, questioned. They say she didn't have no money, say she didn't have the capability to do it. And so I remember my colleague, when I chaired economic development, she was vice chair, but Wanda made a statement in room 267, I'll never forget. She said, why can't we get this project to a black female? So guess what we did in 2024? We voted for a black female for Eastland. Ms. Canty, we thank you for your passion, your leadership.
Thank you so much. Go ahead, Miko.
This question is for Smudgy. Well, I'm sorry, City Council James Smudgy.
Well, what did my name say up here?
City Council James Smudgy.
Okay.
Whatever you do, let the wings fly. So my question is, you mentioned earlier about the contracts, small business contracts. So a lot of people want to know how can they get access to those fundings and those contracts when sometimes people feel like a lot of people that spearhead those contracts, it's hard for them to get it. So how can they get access to it and break down those silos?
So I think the first way you get access to it, you call three of us sitting up here at this table. I would tell you, I'm not alone in this fight. Councilwoman Mayfield, she's a pit bull. She look and make sure there's not minority participation. She calls it out. I'm kind of working behind the scenes and telling staff, how do we have access to capital? How can we get more funding? How can we have early bird special that the small businesses really know where opportunities are? Councilmember Watlington joined us when we always talk about we should pull or delay a project because not enough minority participation. So I'm gonna start off with my number first, 704-617-0399. 704-617-0399. We cannot help you and advocate for you if you do not tell us. I'm gonna call out McAdoo firm. What McAdoo? Didn't I send you an email about an opportunity with the Bank of America Stadium, brother? Minority business that we want to put on that $650 million we're gonna spend on Bank of America. Thank you. So.
I just want to add to that, as of October 3rd, 2025, the U.S. Department of Transportation issued an interim final rule that is immediately effective. The rule makes significant changes to the Federal Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, the DBE, and Airport Concession Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, ACDBE program, so the black-owned businesses and woman-owned businesses at the airport. The new rule states that these programs may no longer use race or sex-based presumptions in determining eligibility. Again, them people are trying to go and kill us and attacking us from every which way. So when we think about how we're going to move forward for our city, the city of Charlotte started conversations back in January to look at our language for us to still hit our goals of making sure that our community has opportunity in these businesses when we knew language was coming, but we were holding out until some actual, not a tweet, but actual language was implemented. So as of October 3rd, just to let you know, the city attorney's office, city staff, in coordination with our federal lobbyist partners at Holland and Knight, are actively analyzing the new rules and its impacts. So we want to make sure y'all know that.
So I was talking to tourists and other banks to try to find out if they have a better solution for people that starting business, especially people coming out of jail and they serve the time, they're still mistreating by the community. They already served the time, but they're still treating as a criminal. So that need to stop. So when I was talking to tourists, and they said they have a special program for people, they have even credit score of 550. And they can, no credit, nothing whatsoever, they have a program. But one thing that I worried me the most was that they had a high interest. So I'm keep on talking to them to drop down the interest rate. So there are a lot of programs that banks have it. So you should really looking for it because you cannot have a small dream. Everybody should have a dream big enough. You have an idea. And then if you like to have a mentor, I had a small business for 34 years, so you can ask me. I've been helping a lot of people. Thank you.
Real quick, a couple of tactical things. Number one, make sure your business is registered with the state. Go to the Secretary of State's office, start there, right? From there, go over to the MC Hub office and apply for historically underutilized business certifications. You can also take a look at the small business enterprise certification. If you are a woman, you can look at the women business enterprise certification as well. Those are the first steps. Then the city of Charlotte, as Councilmember Mayfield mentioned previously, still has our CBI program. So make sure that you are registered there. That can also be used for the county. That puts you on the list of vendors. Make sure that your code, and the staff will help you with this, make sure that your appropriate codes for the services and the goods you provide for the business are listed, and that gets you in the room. The second thing is really about understanding and watching the bids as they come out. Go to all the procurement sites for the public areas, and you'll know what's going to happen. To talk more about it. That's my time. Thanks.
All right, Ms. Napoli.
Just a comment to you, Councilman. Okay. Well,
Is there a mic
on? I think most of the times when we ask for your yes or no, if you're for or against something, it's not for you to tell us how to vote, but we assume you have sort of an insider. You know a lot more about it than we do. So we just want your opinion on it so that we can better judge how we should vote. But my question has to do with something that's been discussed. I've been in Charlotte now for 22 years, and I hear it discussed, and oftentimes it's agreed upon, and then nothing is done. In my opinion, when you talk about affordable housing, you're talking about Black neighborhoods. Affordable housing goes in Black neighborhoods. Mixed income housing, which is what's been talked about since I've been in Charlotte, always gets a more favorable opinion, but it's never being done. My understanding is it's something you have to work with the builders about. You have to tell them that if they want to build in Charlotte, they have to do mixed income housing. Can anyone give me any insight as to why, after 20-something years, I haven't heard of one mixed income, well, I shouldn't say not one, there is one, but it's not the focus, as opposed to affordable housing. Mixed income housing, to me, should be the focus.
Go ahead.
So I have been in real estate for 23 years. I'm one of few female who studied to be CCIM, Certified Commercial Investment Members, which is the highest degree you can earn as a realtor. And we focus on developments, and then as you read my profile, currently I'm working doing the EB5 projects. So everything about the cost. So if you go to South Park, same land costs a lot more money. So land cost, building cost, material cost, and then also the process of getting the permit run by the city, and getting permits, inspection done, all those things adding up the cost of that actual homes. It cannot be done as a mixed development, mixed income project unless that developer is taking kind of loss. You know what I'm talking about? So also, a lot of people, they understand that one is mixed income property. Some people, they don't understand. Human are human. And because of color of their skin or because of how do they dress up, they were mistreated and then they would not come there. And it's not going to be profitable. So, yes. Thank you.
Let's do this, not to be rude, but we got a lot of questions. 30-second questions, 30-second responses.
Okay. When you look across the market, the private sector, absolutely, I would agree with you that you don't often see a lot of mixed use. For our housing trust fund projects and things that we're investing in specifically, that is absolutely one of the requirements, that there is a percentage, that it is mixed income. We've got a bunch open right now that we're reviewing, but happy to share the details of those projects with you. But just know that for dollars that we are voting on to go into housing trust fund projects, there is always a mix of AMI.
All right, so when we talk about MSDs, we talk about MSAs, I just think about the West Side and how, because of disenfranchising housing policy of the past that wasn't that long ago.
Excuse me, everyone didn't answer.
I don't think they didn't.
We need to wrap up.
Well, 30 seconds, you got your 30 seconds. They all looked at me and gave a nod.
Okay, my apologies, Ms. Natalie, thank you for the question. The quick answer, because my colleague, Dr. Wallington, did speak to it. Years ago, I said we need to change the language to diverse price point housing because that's what we need. We're not going to reconcentrate property again. So you're not going to have a building that's all 30% and below and the projects that some of us may have grown up with. So there is diversity, but also that helps that building to be sustainable financially because the cost of maintenance and everything else. And you can't tell the difference from one unit to the other unit. But when you have that mix of those that are 30 and below up to market rate or up to 80 to 100% of the AMI, you have that diversity in the communities for not only the young people to see business owners or teachers or managers, you also have those teenagers that's also seeing the same thing and you're creating a different relationship. So even though you might not hear the word mixed income because the word affordable is just more appealing when something is coming forward. There have been projects where I've said no to because I didn't think it was the right area for that particular type of project. Yet, as Dr. Wallington mentioned, if we're putting trust fund dollars into it, there is a breakdown of the mixture and expectability for this to be maintained and how are you going to fund this project long term?
Ms. Dabney, in 30 seconds, and they touched on it, so I'm just gonna give everybody a real example. Y'all remember Double Oaks? Yep. And now it's the park at Oakland. That's the new vision we trying to have all communities. My colleague said we're not concentrating poverty in one area. But let's talk about the big issue though, when you talk about affordable housing. When I was a District 2 rep, I said there'll never be another affordable housing in my district. You know why? At that time, District 2 had over 1,400 affordable housing units, more than any other district. So what I'm saying to your family, affordable housing shouldn't be concentrated in one part of Charlotte. It needs to be in all of Charlotte. We got a presentation last night. There's affordable housing in Valentine. It has taken 8 years for us to do that project in Valentine. You know why? The neighbors got together, hired a firm, took it all the way to North Carolina Supreme Court to fight it in Valentine. So I want you all to think about that. And so to me, we're here passionate about affordable housing, but we need voices from the community to be able to speak up and support us when we say this is a city commitment, not a certain part of Charlotte commitment.
Point of clarification. The Stevenson, which is named after Sarah Stevenson, is at Double Oaks and Brightwalk. The Park at Oakland is the former Fairview Homes. Correct. So on that same note, again, MSDs, MSAs, there is a residual effect of disenfranchising housing policy that leads to where now, if you are black and make over 100, if you're a black household and have an income of $100,000, you live in a community that someone white who who earns $30,000 annually lives. So the margins are tight. So how can we utilize, or how can we support the efforts of overall communities that can have neighborhood supports for the restaurants, for the small businesses that aren't reflective of those tight margins from having to pay so much to exist where you are? How can we reduce the effects of that wealth gap?
That's not, I can't understand.
Because of the wealth gap. If you make $100,000 and you're black, you typically live in a community where a white person makes $30,000. They can put more on the front end or their down payment, right? So their community is able to be, more fluid. You can support neighboring businesses more so from that space. How can we create a situation where communities are supported? So now I can pay the price for the bagel, the dinner, without having to worry about my bills being so tight. Because again, these wealth disparities cause from policy. In 30 seconds.
So I don't think I completely understand the question that you're asking. So if I have a moment to rephrase what I'm thinking that you want addressed. So when we think about the wealth gap, say you purchased a home 20 plus years ago, and you're in today's market. First of all, don't sell your home, don't sell mama home, don't sell grandmama home. Because some investor came and knocked on your door and offering you X without one, doing the research to see what equity you have in your home, and two, where's that next place you're gonna go live? So that's one of the challenges that we've had in community is that we have sold a number of properties that were left to us by family members. That's creating one particular shift. The other side of it is, unfortunately, we're still under dealing law. So the North Carolina General Assembly still has the minimum wage at $7.25. Even though the city of Charlotte has made a conscious effort, even with our budget in June, of passing the minimum starting wage to 24. Here's the reality of a conversation we're not having. That middle, $24 an hour. That middle, they're not necessarily seeing the increase. So we're putting a lot of energy on our lowest paid, but that is creating some balance. And also when you look at our housing trust fund and our down payment assistance, we did increase that amount up from $300,000 for a home, I believe, up to $350,000. So what does that mean? I met a 22-year-old young man about a month ago, just purchased his new home off of Beatty's Ford Road. He was able to qualify for $95,000 in down payment assistance. So we're doing that part to help try to level the playing field a little bit, but the wealth gap is what it is, and women still are making 80 cents on the dollar. And when you look at more than 350,000 black women just between January and June that were in high-paying jobs that have lost their jobs under this administration, the clear attack on women, on minorities, on diversity is happening all across the nation.
I'll forego, and I can talk to y'all after. I want to get as many people as I can. Faith.
Good morning. My question is, with the federal shutdown, indefinitely, we don't know when that's going to occur. North Carolina State doesn't have a budget. I always like to ask this of elected officials, what keeps you up at night? And based on what keeps you up at night, what do you need to tell us that we need to prepare for?
I am not elected yet, but I was studying when government shut down, what you have to be aware of it. I think most thing you have to worry about is water, because if nobody's watching the water plant. So they can do anything in there, make you sick, and then, contaminate the water. It's a very, very easy thing to do. So make sure that you filter the water, watch out what you're drinking. And that keeps me up in the night because I have 2 children and I care about people's health.
Thank you.
You want
Yeah, go.
2 things. One's more immediate, one is a little bit longer range. The first one is nonprofit funding. There are so many nonprofit organizations that are undergirding the work in the community, and they are literally going on websites where they're typically funded and seeing messages, government shut down by the radical left, but that's a whole other conversation. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I think about next year, I think about a lot of the gerrymandering that is happening across the nation is voter suppression. That one keeps me up at night because we are in a situation where if we don't show up this next go round, we may not have an opportunity to show up for a very long time.
Thank you. Anyone?
Thank you for the question. What's keeping me up is also our nonprofits. Who remember Council for Children's Rights? A lot of people didn't even realize that they closed their doors. A lot of our nonprofits are merging. A lot of them are having to figure out how to make adjustments. Our corporate banking community isn't necessarily lending as much as they once did. We look at the investment that we made in LISC, and LISC having the ability to raise funds in the private sector. We had a project last night that we discussed regarding housing, where that project, they needed to come back to the city for additional funds in order to complete true mixed income housing out of the River District, which was written in the language when I was the district representative. They needed additional needed just under $1 million because LISC the corporate community has not necessarily stayed at pace of funding. And also I'm thinking about long-term, those individuals that receive a subsidy today, those organizations that provided the subsidies, funding has stopped from the federal government. They're closing their doors. So what happens to that individual and what happens to that building as far as long-term maintenance? So we are actually having those conversations in Housing and Neighborhood Services, along with my chair, I serve as vice chair, with our director to look at funding.
Thank you, Ms. Councilwoman. Make
30 seconds.
Actually dropped 20 down.
Okay. 20 seconds, I'm trying to be quick. So number one, on the federal level, we're about our airport, make sure it continue to function and make sure we have no issues there. We mentioned nonprofit. I think this year we put more money in nonprofit because some of our nonprofit agencies lost their federal dollars. I think about For the Struggle in Mail Place. And then we use a lot of federal dollars for affordable housing funding. But this is the one that really keeps me up. It's the attack on our minority businesses. We think about the fights we did in the 50s and 60s, and brothers and sisters, we have the same fight right now in 2025. Same fight. That's what keeps me up. You all had dreams when you opened up your businesses. You carried on the legacy that your family gave you. And you got to know that you got some council members who don't sleep well thinking about how you might lose that. And we're going to make sure we're here to help. We're going to continue to fight. Because politics is what? Local.
Thank you so much, Councilman. Ms. Darnell, 30 seconds.
Yes, good morning. We were talking about federal funding being cut, and I had down here 3 steps, but with the amount of time, what one step would you take to put our city on a firmer financial footing because of the cuts that are taking place? Just one. I had asked for 3, but just one will do.
Well, we are on extremely good financial footing. That's one thing that we take pride in with the AAA bond rating. The one thing that I think it is time for us to do is zero-based budgeting. We need to really come through from not just the adjustments, which is what we typically look at every year, but we need to go from the bottom to the top and really understand what's in our budget, what do we need to prioritize. Obviously, we have a professional manager, but I believe it's incumbent on us as the stewards of the overall budget to take a closer look.
Perfect.
Are you good? Okay, Ms. Jackie.
Yes, I wanted to just mention that on the panel this morning, Deppel was unable to attend, and Ed Peacock, he has no contact on the Board of Elections website as to how to contact him. I wanted to mention that the historically underutilized businesses fall under the North Carolina Department of Administration. Yes, my question is, where are we as to increasing the number of single room occupancies, SROs?
I got 2,000 advocates.
That's a conversation that we're actually having right now. We have 2 proposals that are that have come before us. One, I am considering supporting. The other one, I am not, because I don't fool with that doggone man in no version or any universe. So, and I have shared that from the dais. One of the things that is a challenge is when we think about single room occupancy, we have more and more families with children. And young men, 12 or 13, like they can't go to the YWCA. Or if you have a daughter and a son, you need at least really a 3-bedroom or a 2-bedroom at the most.
Thank you, Councilwoman Mayfield. Jay Hill, close it out with the final question. We're running out of time.
Hey y'all, I'm Jay Hill, board member of West Boulevard Neighborhood Coalition and Western Wilkinson Merchant Association. The transportation tax were to pass. How do we protect the residents and the businesses on West Boulevard specifically? Wow.
I think that one thing that we can do is we need to increase bus stops in undeveloped area. Who doesn't have cars? I found that 37% of civilians in Charlotte, North Carolina doesn't have a vehicle. So that put them in already poverty level immediately. So we should have more bus stops in undesirable place, nobody's going, and use the money to tap in the bus stop to the transit system so they can be coming out as a workforces.
Thank you so much. Anybody else would like to respond?
So if it passed, JD, I think we gotta have a conversation with the business owners. How do they participate in the construction and all the economic developments coming through? So once again, we got to make sure that we listen to the citizens of business on how to benefit from this, if it passed.
All right, Rodney, you close it out.
Okay, I want to ask whether you vote for the tax or not. I don't know if any of y'all talk to youth about this tax, the people who it's really going to affect 20 years from now. And I have, and I'm getting two different things. The youth all want better transportation. They all see themselves like the things they see on TV. However, their parents have serious concerns about displacement. So what?
30 seconds for the question.
So what I want to ask you is whether you approve or not for the tax. When this tax comes in, what measures, show us what it looks like for displacement measures along those rail lines. What does that do? Y'all go in there, y'all vote, we're gonna put this much from the housing fund. What does that look like and when? 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road?
Thank you, Rodney. Anybody want to tackle that?
Yeah, so in the $100 million housing trust fund, which Councilman Bayfield will be quick to tell you was a one-time, we would need to reapprove that in the next 2-year cycle. We did put dollars in there for displacement. What I will tell you is just very honestly, we've already zoned that to we've zoned those areas to transit-oriented development along future rail lines. And because of that, we're going to be trying to play catch up. We can have a much longer conversation about that, but I don't want anybody to get up here and tell you we have solved displacement because we have not. And we have raised our hand to do things that will accelerate displacement. What we're trying to do right now is help protect folks that are in their homes, make sure they're able to stay in their homes, invest in down payment assistance and other things to help people get into those spaces. But at the end of the day, if you don't own that dirt, you've lost.
All right, so I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, please take 30 seconds, close us out with some remarks, and then we'll go into announcements.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to be here. I'm James Smudger Mitchell. I will hope you continue to allow me to serve you on Charlotte City Council. I think, family, we have had a great partnership of working together, moving Charlotte. I continue to be an advocate for you, make sure I have town hall meetings to listen to you, and more importantly, we'll make policy that will make you have a better quality of life in the 14th largest city. Both James Smudger Mitchell, thank you so much.
Thank y'all for allowing us to be here. Again, my website, vote, LaWannaMayfield.com. I'm asking for your vote. I'm asking for, if you have an hour or two, since early voting starts this week on the 16th, to volunteer. I am asking for you to take my card, do a little bit more research, give me the opportunity to continue serving you in this community. Also, reach out to me so that I can make sure that the issues that I'm fighting for are the issues that are of importance to you. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Victoria Watlington, again, serving as council member at large, and hope to gain your support next time. The long and short of it is pragmatic, progressive, professional. We are not coming from play right now. We've got a lot of systemic challenges that we are facing, and we've got to work together, and we've got to be wise, and we got to understand the policy so we can really impact it. That is what I bring to council, and I would like to continue to be a voice, and not only a voice, but a policymaker for the people. Thanks so much.
So my name is Wisdom Kim, running for City Council in large. Please vote for me. But one thing that I can make sure that when I get elected, I will make sure that every council members are audited every year, and then they cannot get city contract nor the extended family. It has to be very clear that we are there to just serve. It's not for our own pocketing, none of those. Let us serve and then make this city a much better place, and then crime has to be stopped. Safety is, yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Round of applause for our panel. Thank you, Drew. Thank you for your service. Ms. Valeda Fullwood. Before we go, Ms. Valeda Fullwood, please give us.
Yeah, I had a quick announcement. If you haven't seen the Solar Philanthropy at Charlotte Museum of History, please check it out. This is the final week. All of you are invited to come for brunch on Sunday the 19th, the last day to see it. If you haven't registered yet, come see me or check us out on Instagram or Facebook. Miss Sarah Stevenson is one of the legacy tributes that we have there with the exhibition, so please come check it out. Charlotte Museum of History from Tuesdays through Saturday, 11 to 5 p.m. All right, thank you. And Sunday is the last day. We have a brunch from 2 to 4. 2 to 4. All right, yeah, 2 to 5 actually. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
This Sunday, your last chance.
And that's brunch, food.
That is brunch, food, conversation.
We can talk to Ms. Valeda afterwards.
All right, thank
Please
you.
get her information. Any more announcements? We have one from Councilwoman Mayfield. Go ahead, Connie, since you got the mic.
Thank you so much. What I would just want to update everyone on is through Housing and Neighborhood Services, we have a number of upcoming events and free trainings. So on October 14th from 6 to 7, of which I will email this, but we're having Navigating City Housing Services, Board Basics, Strengthening Neighborhood Leadership on the 28th, and a new workshops series, Lead Where You Live, going back to the conversation of how community leads community and understanding local government and civic engagement. So I will send this over to Steve.
Thank you, Ms. Jackie.
Yes, I'd like to mention that DA Merriweather's father passed away. He's in Alabama supporting his mom. You do remember when he came before that he indicated that his father was a civil rights and civil rights leader. So please lift them up. I also want to mention that Redress is having a protest on tomorrow at the Pearl Park at 6:30 regarding the Brooklyn community. And I also want to announce that on this coming Sunday from 6 to 10, the North Carolina International Minority Coalition will be having its gala at Project 1610. And we'd love for you to come. Thanks so much.
All right, Ms. Carlene.
I have passed around 2 flyers. One is Mo Green will be here on October 20th. He is the state superintendent lunch and just free, but it's an opportunity to learn about the partnerships with Charlotte Mecklenburg schools. And if you want to be a partner and an opportunity to put in an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding. And there's another one about an event in November that I'll tell you more about. Mark your calendar for December 16th, that is the Tuesday morning forum, Christmas party. You will be hearing more from that from Io, Gary, and myself.
3 before 11, Wood College ID. Come on. I'm sorry. Who?
Good morning. Good morning. Ricky Robbins, candidate for sheriff. Just to let you know that this evening in the University City area at 8801 J.M. Kings Drive, I'll be having a meet and greet. And also on Thursday, I'll be having a community conversation, the future of justice, with Christy Puckett at Charlotte Creative Workspace, 2300 Allegheny Street. Thank you. Welcome to the team.
Mr. Combs.
As many of you all know, I take special medication. I don't take my crazy pill before 11 o'clock. So,
I know it.
But the reason I want to mention this is because we lost a very dear person this past week.
Yeah.
And I can't say enough how important it is to love your neighbor, even if you disagree with your neighbor, because tomorrow is not promised to anyone.
That's right.
So I just want to put that on your hearts because it's surely on mine, and it's a tough time because it's only one of many. So remember, Even if you don't like somebody, I hate Western, but I love you.
So Ken, you love me?
Nobody hates you.
What's your name?
All right, Ms. Kim, go ahead and close it out with it now. Oh, Shay, Ms. Kim, then Shay, you're gonna close it out.
So I would like to invite you guys over to First World Park tomorrow at 4 to 7. 4 to 7. So there's a Pastor Martin. He's been doing homeless pizza ministry on the street for 18 years. He missed only 4 times. And it's kind of honored to be included. And I'd like for you guys to come over and then talk to those people. Those homeless people, I found out, they're not alcoholic, they're not drug addict. They just perfectly fine people. They're working, they're homeless. We gotta help them out because they are our family.
Thank you,
and
Ms.
come
Kim.
out if you need help, okay?
Thank you, Ms. Kim. Shay, go ahead and close it out.
Yeah, coming up Saturday, October 25th, is Lit Fest at Renaissance West. Please join us as we light the spark of literacy in young minds and families all across town. October 25th, special thanks to Freedom Fighting Missionaries, the Charlotte Mecklenburg Library, West Boulevard Coalition, and so many more. We'll keep announcing those. Look for us online, October 25th, Saturday. Lit Fest!
First day of early voting, October 16th. Voting is November 4th. Make sure you engage. Please join us next week, next Tuesday, as we have more amazing guests. Happy homecoming week to the Winston-Salem State University Rams. Celebrating all week. Join us. Drive up 85 to 52. They had a time of your life. Dr. Thomas. District 3 is next week.
Win the election?
Dr. Thomas, play us out.